PG&E Corporation is Jesus Soto, Senior Vice President of Gas Operations. The U.S. Latinos on their board include President and CEO Gaisha Williams. According to Fortune, she is the first Latina CEO of a Fortune 500 company. An LCDA member. Please, let's get sidebar.
Give Nelson a mic.
We're also pleased to showcase Western Union for the exemplary representation of Latinos on their board of directors. Here to receive the recognition on behalf of Western Union is Odelon Almeida, President, Global Money Transfer. The Latino directors on the Western Union Board of Directors include Sol Trujillo and Roberto Mendoza. So now we're proud to honor Michael Johnson, Executive Chairman of the Board of Herbalife Nutrition. Herbalife has the distinction of having 3 U.S. Latinos on their board of directors, including Dr. Richard Carmona, Maria Otero, and my friend Michael Montelango. Please join me in congratulating Michael and thanking him and the Herbalife Board of Directors for advancing Latinos at the highest levels of corporate governance. Please join me on the stage. One more. Thank you.
I'll give you my extensive Espanol right now. Buenos dias, everyone. So, first of all, thank you. Thank you very much for recognizing our company and our wonderful group of Latino directors. Maria, thank you very much. Michael and Dr. Carmona, who's not with us today. I'm going to introduce them to you a little more formally in just a second, but I went to each of them when I heard about this award and heard about this great honor that you have bestowed upon us. And I said, can you give me a few words? So I have a lot of words from all of them, and things I should say. Maria suggested that I speak a paragraph in Spanish to you. I rehearsed it about 40 times and said, no. I don't want to insult you or me in the process of that. But they had a lot of great ideas to share with you today. But I want to just give you a little bit of the board perspective. I've been chairman of the board of Herbalife for 14 years. And our company has a unique place in the Latino community, as many of our customers, many of our distributors, many of our employees, in fact our U.S. marketplace, our North American marketplace, is run by E.B. Montesino, whose family came from Cuba into the U.S. And she started as a secretary at Herbalife and now runs $1 billion business here in the United States. It's an amazing success story. Forgetting any of the Latino roots, it's just a wonderful gender story, it is a wonderful success story, and of course it's a wonderful Latino story. She has risen up and runs a very vibrant business that has been put under an enormous amount of change by our federal government. We can argue, we can have that whole discussion later. I'm writing a book about it, so you can all read that at the right time. But today, what we are here to discuss is what my introduction, thank you very much for that, discuss is about how do we have diversity in the board, not only in terms of ethnic diversity and gender diversity, but we need skills too on that board. And I think that you, as the Corporate Directors Association, Latino Corporate Directors Association, also need to think about specific in our company, and we have to protect those transactions, protect those people we do business with, protect our distributors and our customers, to make sure that the cybersecurity that they are coming to us, and there's not a company out there that isn't afraid to death of this. So we need to find someone in cybersecurity. So when we sit on our governance nominating committee and say, oh, gee, we'd like someone of ethnic descent, of gender, of race, of color, and knows cybersecurity. Help us with that. And seriously, help, if you can come to us and say, hey, here's a list of 10 people who fit that. International experience, finance, marketing, sales, all supply chain management. We put a product in people's bodies every day. And that is really, really important to us. And so while I'm here to say thank you for this, I'm also here to implore you a little bit in the area, in the direction that can help not only Latinos in this country, but help companies provide not just, so that when they're sitting there in their governance and nominating committee, they're just going, oh, this person has a Latino last name, so they must be qualified. We have to have qualifications that fit our shareholder interest, that drive value for the company, that drive value for our shareholders. And our constituencies are interesting, in corporate America, and I'll keep this to 5 minutes, I promise. Am I already out of time? Really? Am I already over 5 minutes? All right, well, Maria and Michael know me very well, and they know I'm wordy, so I'll try to keep this as brief as possible. But, we have, in the board of directors today, your constituency, of course, is the shareholder value. There's no doubt about it. And that's what a CEO's job is, that's what a board's job is. But you've got a lot more constituents than that. We have a customer out there, which is a large portion Latino in the United States and around the world. Spanish is probably our most transacted language in the company. Chinese is coming on fast, but Spanish, when you take Latin America in, you take Spain in, you take parts of Asia, the Philippines in, we are a very Spanish-based company. And so having that in our boardroom is vital to us. The customers are vital. The employees are vital. The environment's vital. We have to be stewards of those. And of course, our HLF distributors, our Herbalife distributors, they are absolutely functionally vital to the strength and the longevity of Herbalife. And that group in the United States is about 60% Latino. It's represented in our workforce. It's represented in our boardroom. We're proud of it. So Michael, Maria, Dr. Carmona, I want to thank you for being a strong force inside our company. We will continue to be probably one of the most representative Latino boards in America because it is important to us. It's important to our mission in the company. It's important to our distributors. They've all gotten to know our board members. They all attend meetings. They are engaged and involved. Dr. Carmona travels the world and speaks. Michael and Maria have gone to our events around the world, and our distributors know them on a first-name basis. They hear the stories, and they share the experiences. So thank you all very much. I had a lot more to say, but I see that red light flashing at me, and so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for this wonderful honor. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael. I assure you, in this room, we have those experts in cybersecurity and everything else that you're looking for. Just turn to LCDA. Our second honoree is Wyman Roberts, CEO and President of Brinker International. They bring us a Chili's Grill and Bar and Maggiano's Little Italy. The Latinos on the board are two of our very own, Jose Luis Prado and Jerry Lopez. Also with us today is Harriet Edelman, a member of the Board of Directors. Please join me on the stage.
Jerry, get up here. Row, come up. Come on. No, Jerry will let you come up. You got it started. Come on. Yeah. All right. First, I'd just like to thank you for recognizing us and for really pushing this worthwhile cause of getting Latino leadership representation higher in all aspects of business, but especially in the boardroom. As some of you may now know, we're Brinker. We're not the guys that pick up your cash in the trucks. That's usually the biggest thing. We're the guys that serve you food, and after today, I'm sure there's a lot more of us that are aware that there's going to be a lot of food served in the next 10 years, a lot more than's been served, and so I was pretty optimistic about that. We were talking about, when I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about, why Latinos on the board and how important it is for us. The first thing was, Latinos, their love for people, and I'm in the hospitality business, and then this guy blew me out of the water. He doesn't like people, so Juan Ricardo kind of shot that whole premise that the Latinos and the hospitality linkage. But I still believe, at least in our board members, we have a real good the relationship between the business and the Latino love for people and for food just connects. But more importantly, what we have had, and it started with Ro Parra in 2004, is we just have outstanding leadership representation by our Latino board members. And Jerry came next, and Jose Luis more recently. And the skills that these, they happen to be all gentlemen, I'm sure regardless of gender, we would see the same thing. But the skill and the business acumen that they bring into the boardroom, the way they help us define strategy, keep us on track, bring in outside experiences that they've had. Jerry's had tremendous experiences throughout multiple industries. He knows everybody everywhere, and so his connections are also just invaluable to us as management as we move forward. The Latin community is also it just makes sense from a business perspective. You've heard it from others. It works the same way in our world. Obviously, our guests they skew Hispanic and Latin, and so we have that in our business. It's important to have that represented in management, and our restaurants are run in large part with Latino help, and we have 30% of our team members at Chili's, 44% of our team members at Maggiano's are of Latin descent. And more importantly, as we now see them move up through the ranks, we just promoted our two most recent vice presidents of operations, and these are gentlemen that run $300 million businesses, are both young Latinos. And so we're starting to see them move themselves up, and the generational stories that have started in the restaurant and now moving themselves up through management and into the position so they can join boards is happening. And we're seeing their expertise and their knowledge, and that's helpful. We also see it in our international business, where over 50% of our business is in 12 Latin American countries. And these are all franchise businesses, and as we interact with those leaders, Jerry and I were just talking about our partner in Puerto Rico. He's an amazing businessman, huge restaurateur expertise, and just you get to see the skill set that they bring. And they're some of our most successful markets, and they help us get smarter about how to engage consumers around the world. This morning I was fortunate enough to get up, and you gave me a great day in New York, and we're right across the street from the park, so I decided to take a run. I had no idea the marathon is this weekend. But I will tell you, I've run in the park a lot. Today was a special day because there were just hundreds and hundreds of international runners in big groups. And to just think about the worldwide, the impact that the global diversity is having on that race this weekend, it just kind of brought home the importance of diversity. That race is so much more now because it's diverse. And to listen to, if you haven't seen, when you finish the New York City Marathon, you run that last half mile through just an array of flags, worldwide flags, representing all the people there. And so the diversity that we all need gets seen in so many different ways. In the hospitality business, we know it's important. We appreciate it. We're going to continue to use partners to help us find talent, Latino talent in the boardroom, and we're very appreciative of this honor. Thank you again for bestowing it on us, and we'll work together with you to kind of pursue the cause. So thank you.
Our next honoree is LCDA member Robert Sanchez, Chairman and CEO of Ryder System Inc. In addition to himself, LCDA member Lu Nieto is a proud member of the Ryder System Board of Directors. On behalf of your peers, thank you and congratulations. Please come to join me on the stage. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Well, I really want to first congratulate Mike and Wyman for being selected also. I didn't realize having 2 Latino board members was such a big deal. You'd think a lot of people would have that, but apparently we're getting there. And I got to tell you, as a fellow Latino, I'm especially proud to receive this award on behalf of Ryder. And Lu Nieto, who is our other board member, as Elizabeth mentioned, and he's an active member here at the Latino Directors Association. He's actually celebrating, I think, his 30th anniversary with his wife. So he's overseas in Spain enjoying himself. But I do want to recognize him. He's an incredible board member at our company, and we're very fortunate to have him. And I know he's very proud of this recognition. So I thought what I would do is maybe give you just the 4-minute version now of the Ryder journey, and kind of how we got here. I've been with Ryder for 25 years, and I started in the company as an analyst in our IT department. And when I started at Ryder 25 years ago, our board had no diversity at all, like most boards. Not only that, our leadership team had no diversity at all either, as many companies did, but certainly we were. In a lot of ways, you could think of Ryder as kind of a little bit of a good old boy trucking company that had been around for quite a while. And I say that only because I think it's thanks to the leadership of that non-diverse board that was there that decided to make a change. And at the time, they decided that they needed to do something different because they saw the need with the changing demographics that they needed to have more diversity within the management team and within their board. And what they decided to do was, rather than leave all the decision making initially within the company for promotions and new hires at the executive level, leave it up to the hiring executive. They said, you know what, let's just agree up front as to what are the leadership competencies that we want in this company. Because if you think about it, for every job, you want somebody that's competent. You want somebody that has the background, you want somebody that has the knowledge, but when it comes down to the final decision, many times it's up to personal preference, like the style, like the background. A lot of times what they determined was that people were picking people like them, because as Juan said earlier, you're most comfortable with people who look and sound like you. And that was sort of continuing this process of continuing to see the same types of people. So they came up with this list and said, all right, we're gonna have this list, and we're gonna hold ourselves accountable for this, for our own hiring, and we're gonna hold each other accountable for this. And the list was really 4 leadership traits that they wanted. First and foremost, character. You want people of high integrity, people that are gonna tell the truth. If you're gonna have a good leader, you better have high integrity. The second competency was good judgment. It's kind of a soft thing, but not everybody's right all the time on every decision, but it was more about how you make decisions. Are you the smartest person in the room, or do you listen to other people when you make a decision? Do you ask for others' input before you make a big decision or choice? The third one was respect for others, how you treat people. Not just your boss, everybody respects their boss, but how do you treat people that work for you? How do you treat your peers? Do you collaborate? Do you work well in a team? And then last but not least is the ability to get results. You got to put points on the board. So you want people that, as the Latinos say, que resuelva. You need somebody that can get it done. So those 4 things became the test, whether it was going to be a new hire we were bringing into an executive level, or it was somebody who was going to be getting a promotion. And that's what changed things at Ryder. Because all of a sudden, promotions and new hires were much more objective than they had been in the past. And that philosophy is how Lou Nieto ended up on our board. You know, Lou, when he came onto our board, was the division president of the consumer goods division within ConAgra. And he had an incredible amount of experience in the consumer packaged goods business. Ryder at the time had no business in logistics and consumer packaged goods. We're heavy into automotive, heavy into other industries. And we decided with his input and his really telling us about the industry that this might be an industry we want to get into. We made a big acquisition about 5 years ago with the guidance of Lou, of a company called Total Logistics Control, and are now that industry is our second largest industry vertical in the company. Thanks to Lou and thanks to the leadership that he provided for us. And make no mistake, you know, I always say at Ryder, we search for the best person for the job. We don't go out and say, I'm going to search diversity. I want the best person in the job. What I want to make sure we have is a level playing field. We want to have a level playing field where everybody has an opportunity and everybody has a shot. And that philosophy, again, that was started by that leadership team that was not diverse at all, has really changed the makeup of our company. 25 years later, I would tell you that today, minorities are the majority at Ryder. Our leadership, our board is 55% diverse, 20% Latino. Our leadership team is 60% diverse, 40% Latino. And the company today, with the leadership team and the board that we have, I would say has been able to do a lot more and take the company to new levels than what it had been 25 years ago. Again, thanks to the work that was started 25 years ago. So hopefully that gives you an idea of kind of how it worked for us. I couldn't be any happier, couldn't be any prouder of the work that we're doing, and we're not done yet. I think that's going to continue. You know, I do. By the way, you guys may not believe this, but I worry about, am I always looking for people that are like me, bald Latinos with goatees? So I have checked. There's none on my leadership team. There's none on the board yet. But again, I think it's a great opportunity going forward for folks in this room. I think most companies that are out there are really looking for qualified Latinos who want to be on boards, and it's a matter of time before we see more and more of them. So thank you. Thanks very much for the recognition.
Great story. That's a great story. Our final honoree is Mutual of America, and its president, John Greed, who I happen to know a lot about because of Kimberly. Wonderful things. Thank you for being part of our program. I've heard such great things about you, as I said, and you have Dr. Kimberly Casiano on the board and Dr. Ellen Ochoa. We are pleased to recognize you and the Mutual of America Board of Directors as champions of board diversity. Please join me on the stage. With your board members.
It's always tough being the last one at one of these things. I'm standing between you and the rest of the program, so I will try to keep my comments brief, although, as I think Kim Cassiano knows, haven't been on our board long enough that I'm not known for my brevity, although I do see the clock there, so got to say it's quite an honor for Mutual America to accept this award. And as the new CEO of the company, I wish I could take credit for this, but the credit really belongs with our chairman, current chairman of the board, Tom Moran, and the rest of our board of directors. They call me the new guy, although I spent 15 years as the CFO and 21 years in total at Mutual America. But as I said, the credit for this award really lies with Tom as our chairman. Tom was with the company for over 40 years, 21 of those as the CEO and chairman of the company. And for those of you that, and I realize many of you may not know much about our company, we are a full-service retirement savings provider. We work primarily with small to medium-sized nonprofit social welfare organizations all across the country. And as you can imagine, our client base, we have a very, very diverse client base. And to put that in perspective, we have over 15,000 nonprofit social welfare organizations we work with, and about over 450,000 individuals. And I always hate when I say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Well, we may never be the largest retirement savings company. We work hard and strive to be the absolute very best. And as a mutual company, it's particularly important to us because we're in effect owned by our policyholders, by our customers. So the philosophy of the organization has always been to focus on our board of directors and look at our board of directors and make sure that we had the kind of diversity that's reflected in our client base. A couple people have commented on what it is we look for in terms of our directors, and I would just simply say that we're looking for individuals that have leadership ability and integrity, and that will be able to work in a collegial way with the rest of our board, always taking into consideration gender, racial, ethnic, and geographic diversity, as well as diverse fields of professional expertise. And I think one of the other things that's unique about our board, as a mutual company, we also do not have term limits or age limits. A lot of companies will have those, and our philosophy is if you come in 4 times a year in an oversight capability and you're only involved with the organization for a few years, it's awfully difficult to do that in an effective way. So another thing that's a little bit different about us. So on behalf of our chairman, Tom Moran, and the entire board of directors, I want to thank you for this great honor that you're bestowing on Mutual of America. I also want to recognize and thank Kim Cassiano. Kim has been on our board for a number of years and has provided great insight and leadership to our organization, especially as it relates to our marketing, product and marketing operations. And we look forward to the contribution that our newest director, Ellen Ochoa, will make in the years to come. Ellen just joined our board about 6 months ago. And I want to thank both of them, for Kim for the contribution that she has made, and both of them for the contribution that they will make to our organization as we go forward. Thank you.